Hi, Bother Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. I guess I should wade into the whole discourse about the slap heard round the world at the Oscars last night, where Will Smith, he slapped actually Chris Rock because of what he said about his wife Jada Pinkett Smith. So here's the thing, right? We're gonna do our best to cut through the noise and the BS of everything because I don't want to talk about stuff that's not necessarily my wheelhouse, and I don't even want to talk about all the different ancillary things that are coming with this, right? Between potentially the normalization of abuse and especially at award ceremonies, the different reactions based on a variety of different ethnicities and justifications or counter justifications and arguments back and forth about who was in the right, who was in the wrong. I actually don't want to get into any of that because it all skirts around the core of the issue for me. The core of the issue is that lots of people, whichever side of the argument they're on or whatever point they're trying to make, always relates it back to violence, right? Remind me again what the fuck is happening out in the world right now? People are having the audacity to complain about violence. Look what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. Violence is never the answer. So then why is the American military budget so high? Why are we pushing, some people are pushing for World War III over Ukraine and Russia? Why, if, violence is never the answer, are we still saying, yeah, no, we should go over there and kill more Russians to defend our Ukrainian comrades? And this is not to say anything about the ongoing humanitarian disasters in Afghanistan, which was caused by the U.S., and in Yemen, which was indirectly caused by the U.S., but more directly caused by Saudi Arabia and her allies. So all this talk about violence bad really feels disingenuous as fuck right now. It is really, really annoying to see all these people talk about, oh, that's so terrible, you should never use violence. So, and touching on abuse and everything like that. So then I wonder how these same people feel about the various trucker convoys and the rise in hate crimes that happened, for example, in Ottawa when they were occupied by that freedom convoy there for a few weeks. Where's a similar outcry for violence for the now 10,000 so far discovered unmarked graves of Indigenous children in Canada? There's 128 residential schools to go, by the way. And the conservative estimates, when some people were initially saying, yeah, there's probably some dead kids in there, we estimate about 4,000 to 5,000. It's double that. And we're barely getting started. Where's the talk of that kind of violence, that cultural violence, right? People want to talk about, physical violence is never the answer. And unfortunately, you know what? Sometimes it is. The way I got bullies to stop when I was younger was I fought back, and viciously so. Then it stopped. So no, not all the time is, violence is never the answer. If people were serious about this, about, no violence, violence is never the answer, then there would be a lot more Janes in the world. That is the only real true pacifistic religion. Let's be brutally honest here. And so long as we're being brutally honest, let's also talk about all the stuff around this story, right? And how it's become the center of focus. And there are still some absolute goddamn ghouls out there who are thinking that Will Smith did this so that he could distract from the war. It's all part of a Putin or a deep state plot or whatever. And it's please give your head a shake. How do you think that is somehow some part of a deep state conspiracy? You want to know the other violence that was going on that very few people have talked about, but I absolutely salute those who have talked about this? When they get ready for the Academy Awards, they do sweeps of homeless people and vagrants and disorderly people and drunkards all around the area. And they sometimes rather brutally remove them so that we can see all the glitz and glamour of the celebrity class march through and be like worshipped as new living gods by the paparazzi and their legions of screaming fans, all while again disadvantaged people with nowhere else to go are cleared away for fucking spectacle. That's violence. This is all so stupid and infuriating. All this talk suddenly about violence wrong, violence bad. Oh, well, you know, Chris Rock shouldn't have done that. And I know I'm kind of sounding like that person of like, well, you know, you kind of egged them on. And, oh, you know, Will Smith should know better. Or, oh, it looked like he was actually defending his wife's honor after he left at first. But then he saw her reaction. He thought, oh, shoot, I got to make up for this. And so he went and he hit him. But no, that's part of a conspiracy. Like, shut the fuck up. All this talk, all this nonsense, all this focus on the violence of the act. Meanwhile, millions more are impacted by actual, real, systemic, and current ongoing physical violence than what happened last night. And it's all getting lost in the noise of, again, data and the algorithms and what trends and tracks, which is why I made this, because I wanted at least a few people to recognize that, you know what? Oh, hey, I want his take on the whole thing with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Boom. What you're also getting is the other terrible, awful, way worse violence that is happening around the world that people are pushing for or outright ignoring. And the fact that that isn't part of the bigger conversation is absolutely what's bothering me today.